what? What's the main one?
C.
The
diff.
worrisome one.
C. diff.
C. diff, that's the organism.
That's.
Causes really bad diarrhea, the explosive diarrhea. But what if it gets really bad? What does it cause?
It's called internal infection.
What's it called? Is there a name for you? What? Pseudomembranous colitis. And what's the bad side effect of that? Not a side effect. What are the
colon wall slow.
good? Remember, sloughing off the colon wall, and then what happens?
And then all that stuff gets inside your body and you get all.
In your intestinal cavity. Okay, good.
Ugh.
And then, that's just what like.
Oh, yeah.
Clostridium botulinum is caused by, botulism is caused by Clostridium botulinum. The main one is foodborne. But is it actually an infection that causes the issue here? C. diff, you got an infection growing inside you, right? You got a colonization, actually it's already there, it's a super infection, right? With botulism, you actually have an ongoing infection. Yes or no?
No. Isn't it?
It's the endospores that produce the toxins, right?
Yeah.
Not the spores germinate, they start growing, and then the organism produces what?
The toxins.
A toxin. But it's usually not in you. That's the point I'm trying to get into the gastrointestinal. It's where? I need to go over this with you guys. I went over yesterday. I need to go over you. Where do you get botulism? We already talked about the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Where else do you get it from? Okay, if I go into the grocery store and I want to get a can of Wolf Red chili, and the can looks like this.
Oh, that's right.
Wolf Red. I make fun of that. We had a chili cookout one time. The guy who won used a can of chili. It wasn't us, it was the judges. Would you buy that can?
No.
Why not?
It's been exposed.
What?
My mom was just crazy about it. She would never let us get like dented cans.
Is that a dented can? You see some of the big misnomers that go around that people have issues with. Not issues with, that are sort of urban legends. Is it a dented can? Yes or no? What do you think? I know you just want to say no, but you're trying to think why no, why would it not be?
Would it only be a can that's so dented that it has some kind of like piercing?
Like
A puncture, yeah, or piercing?
Yeah, if you have a puncture, if there's a crease in there, like
Sometimes
that,
it's so small you can't see it.
I would stay away from that.
Okay.
If it's just a dent, it's just a dent. What people worry about, they don't worry about anymore, is if you see a can like this.
Oh, yeah.
If you see what they call a puffy can, a can where the top is puffed out, or those little sealable things like in jars, the glass jars that it's supposed to be sort of pulled in, if that's popped up, then you can worry. Okay? Because Clostridium, problem is back when they used to can their own food, I go get my green beans grow in the ground, right? I wash them off, I can them, I boil them to cook them, and then I throw them right in the can, and I seal that can up. I just made a nice what?
Incubator.
Anaerobic space for that inside of there. The German spores germinate. When they germinate, they start producing the toxin, but they also start producing what? A gas, and that's why you worry about the puffy can. They start producing a gas that causes things. That's also why if you open up a can somewhere and it goes and stuff squirts out and it's not supposed to be like that, that could be a problem. Doesn't mean it's botulism, but it may mean it's been infected with something and there's been some gas going inside of it.
Is the gas a waste product?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you worry about puffy can, it's not dented can. All right.
My mom says it's the same with chicken, like not to get the puffy bags, like when you buy chicken.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know if they put air in those and they blow them up.
Well, they start out like kind of not vacuum sealed, but fine, and then you'll see other ones that are like.
Yeah, those aren't a little bit if it's packaging, but I just stay away from those two. Just get it. Don't want to ruin my weekend anymore to get through it already. All right. The next one. Did we go through this part?
This is where we're at.
Okay, so we talked about the regrowth,
Oh, wait.
right? Symptoms similar to foodborne botulism again. If you get a wound that's contaminated with endospores, just like perfringes, they can germinate, start growing, and release a toxin. In this case, you might actually have an ongoing infection, right? That one I'd be more concerned about. Treatment is wash the intestinal tract, remove any Clostridium so you don't get the germs starting, the sporulation, and you start getting growth, and they keep producing the toxins. Administration of neutralizing antibodies. Again, what are they trying to stop? The bacteria or the toxin?
The toxin.
The toxin, good.
Because you can kill the bacteria, but the toxin will stay in your
Right,
body.
so you remember anthrax, the problem with anthrax. What did I say the problem with anthrax? So if I come down with anthrax symptoms right now, I've been sick in my house for a while, I've been feeling terrible, I finally go to the ER, they looked at my symptomology, boom. I've been digging in a garden or underground, so I've been inhaling a bunch of dust, they put 2 and 2 together, I have anthrax. What is the problem? Why do I still have a high probability of not surviving?
Because the bacteria has already created the toxins in your body. So like I said, they can get rid of the bacteria, but they can't get rid of the
The
toxins.
damage is caused by the toxins, those 3 toxins anthrax produces, and so while you're in there, a lot of the damage has been done, a lot of the toxins are already there. And that's the problem. All of these, you're gonna try and neutralize the toxins, you're still gonna give antibiotics so you don't want anything else growing in there, right? All right, prevention, proper canning of food, not many people do it anymore. How are you supposed to can your food? What are you supposed to use? Can you just boil the vegetables? Long. If I boil the vegetables for an hour, boiled green beans for an hour, sound yummy. Kind of mushy. Maybe that's how they make baby food. Okay? Would that work? If I'm extra careful and boil it for an hour.
No, because it can still enter at the last moment, right?
No, let's say I've gone away from that, I've cleaned everything down, I'm boiling away. Why can't,
Is it because some endospores aren't killed by high temperatures
Some?
of boiling? All endospores cannot be killed by
Yeah,
boiling,
endos-
but by
Autoclaving.
autoclaving, yeah.
So, how did they used to do that, guys? It's because it's getting more popular. And
Salt?
Zombie apocalypse is coming, overpopulation, might want to know these kind of things.
Well, don't they like now that what they do is like when about to like can them, like aren't you supposed to put it like up like on a pot,
Mhm.
and then in that pot you put into another pot but with water in it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're supposed to put like the water is not supposed to touch the other pot that's inside of it.
See, that's when you're trying
Like
to sterilize
steam
the
is,
jars
like,
and stuff. The steam, that kind of sterilizes the jar. How would you prevent botulism spores from getting in?
Would it be
your
salt? Because salt like will drain. No.
Could be later on.
Don't they pump air right before they seal it so it pushes?
Anybody know? What is it? Old school stuff.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever heard of a pressure cooker?
Yeah.
What do pressure cookers do? They cook under pressure, right? They're basically autoclaves.
Oh.
Same principle. So you get these big pressure cookers, you put the jars and everything in there, and when you seal it all up, you hit it with the pressure cooker, and it should kill the spores.
Oh.
You know, that's what you're going to remember 10 years from now. You know,
I
one
remember.
thing from that class. Infants under 1 year should not consume honey. We already talked about this. Clostridium tetani, mono, oligate, anaerobe. What terminal endospore, again, ubiquitous everywhere, soil, dust, GI tract, animals, and humans. Tetanus results when the endospores germinate and produce tetanus toxin. This is tetanus. We're talking about another urban legend, not legend so much. So the tetanus toxin is not released while the organism is growing. It's actually when the organism dies that it releases the toxin.
How many times?
It's a very potent neurotoxin. And how does botulism kill you? How do we say it kills you?
Botulism.
Which one?
That's a muscle contraction.
Muscle contraction, what were you saying? It's respiratory, that's ultimately how it kills you, but how?
because of
Because
the
it causes
diaphragm.
paralysis.
Paralysis.
Well, what type of paralysis? Paralysis or what they call the flaccid paralysis, where you just can't move anything?
Flaccid.
There's 2 different types, okay? That's from that, remember? It binds and prevents acetylcholine from crossing the neuromuscular junction, right?
Mhm.
Tetanus is the other way around.
Oh wow.
Tetanus, that's just what the spores look like. They look like little clubs. And that's pretty much diagnostic, actually, if you see this. In this case, your stimulatory neurotransmitter is acetylcholine, and then you have an inhibitory neurotransmitter that's going to allow your muscles to do what?
Move.
Relax,
Yeah.
right? So acetylcholine causes contraction, inhibitory neurotransmitter contracts the effect, counteracts the stimulatory neurotransmitter, so the impulses are inhibited. It lets you relax. In this case, tetanus doesn't bind to this axon ending, it binds and prevents the releasing of the inhibitory neurotransmitters. So now all your muscles, once they've contracted, aren't able to do what? Relax. So in this case, the paralysis is where all your muscles are contracted up. And what's the nickname or the popular name for tetanus? You don't see it much anymore because it's really
Lockjaw?
common, right? Lockjaw. A lot of times it would end up in the face first and everything else. How would you die from this particular one?
Probably cardiac arrest
No,
because
remember
it
we talked
stops.
about the heart's got its own little pacemaker.
Oh, that's right. That's
valve.
right. So probably
Not
respiratory
first.
also because your diaphragm can't move.
Both of these are going to be respiratory because your diaphragm in this case again gets paralyzed, but it's going to be contracted, right? So either way, it's suffocation. Not a very pleasant way to go.
To
Initial tightening of the jaw and neck muscles, that's why they call it lockjaw. It's really pretty uncommon in the U.S. Who here's been vaccinated for the tetanus shot? No?
Need like a booster, right?
yeah, probably need a
Well,
booster.
yeah. Well, okay, yeah, okay. Let's
Okay.
phrase it close. Who is up to date on their tetanus?
Oh, up to date? Probably not.
And I was so impressed.
What year are we in? No, not.
I don't think it, does anybody know, is it part of your vaccinations you're supposed to have to go to college now?
No.
Tetanus I wouldn't think it would be. Somebody said it was. I don't know why they would put tetanus in it. Now, anytime you go to the ER or you get any kind of cut or any kind of wound on you, they always want to ask you, are you up to date on your tetanus shot? And if you say, I don't know or no, they're going to do it.
Give it
They're
to
going to give it to you just in case. And a lot of times it's just an excuse to make sure you've got your tetanus shot. Because if it was just a cut like I cut the tip of my finger off, a dog bit the tip of my finger off and it flopped over. Is that a deep penetrating wound?
Yes.
No, it was the most open wound I've ever had in my life. The whole tip of my finger was flopped open. There's plenty of air getting in there. I get in there and they ask me, have you updated your tetanus shot? And I said, well, I don't remember. We'll give you one anyway. Because I really probably need it.
Probably not.
Probably not, but it's a good way to make sure people stay up to date on it, and just in case. So, that's another student said that they went and got something for a minor wound and they gave him tetanus shot for it. Better safe than sorry. All right, spasms and contraction can spread to other muscles. Unrelated contraction of the diaphragm causes death. We talked about this. Most cases occur in less developed countries. Why? Is there just more tetanus there?
Less vaccines and less preventable.
Less vaccination. Again, recovery requires growth of new neural terminals. So you can recover from this. It's got about a 50% mortality. I don't know you about, I'm not very lucky in Vegas, so 50% is pretty high for me. Now, what is the big urban legend for this one? How do you get tetanus?
Step on a rusty nail.
I just cringe every time I hear that. Why a rusty nail?
Yeah.
This has bothered me since I was a kid when I asked my dad. What's a rusty nail?
Isn't it bacteria like attracted to iron?
It's it uses iron, but not like that, not oxidized iron. You know,
Right, okay.
it's not. Does rust have anything to do with it? If I went and bought a brand new shiny nail from Home Depot and threw it in the dirt and you stepped on it, could you get tetanus?
I guess so.
Certainly. Can you get tetanus from a puncture wound from a cactus theoretically?
Yeah.
Yes, or a thorn, yes. The old rusty nail thing is most of what they were trying to get across to people is if you get a puncture type wound from something that's been in the dirt, or potentially dirty, which is why the rusty nail comes up, people stepping on boards. But over the years, it has morphed into, you can only get tetanus. I had students swear to me, you can only get tetanus from a rusty nail. And I said, well, then why do they have a shot? Because that's not a huge issue with people stepping on rusty nails. But that's the difference. Anytime you can get a type of a puncture wound where you get the spores in there, you can theoretically get tetanus.
Yeah.
Now, is the vaccine, what is the vaccine for? Tetanus vaccine. So is it
Sustain-
against the organism? Most vaccines are, right?
Yeah.
So you want to stop that infection before it gets too big, right? What does tetanus do when the bacteria dies?
Releases the toxin.
Releases the toxin. So now I just got a vaccine that's going to kill the bacteria and you're going to release some extra toxins. Mhm. I mean, you probably would catch it before it got too bad, hopefully, but that still sounds counterproductive. It's not. The vaccine is against the toxin.
That makes sense.
It neutralizes the toxin. Organisms will take antibiotics if you need them, but eventually they're going to die off. Probably your immune system will build them, mop them up. It's against the toxin. You want to neutralize the toxin.
So you'll still feel the effects, but you can get rid of the bacteria, but it won't kill you and it won't.
Yeah, well, you won't feel the effects even. I mean, the bacteria will kind of start to grow and the toxins will be neutralized like that.
Okay.
And so this is a kid, a small
Oh.
kid who's got locked up, got tetanus. You can see sort of the classic, every one of his muscles is what?
Lock.
Just contracted up, and they get that rigid kind of bend over. And I'm hoping that baby survived, that's why they didn't put him in the book. They didn't put him in the book. All right, characteristic of muscular contraction again. Cleansing the wounds, removing those spores. Administration of the antitoxins again. Administration of antimicrobial drugs because you want to what? Kill anything that might still be in there growing, because we haven't talked about this and I don't think we're going to. Do y'all remember, did we talk about passive immunity in here and active immunity?
A little bit, yeah.
What's the difference between naturally acquired and artificially acquired active and passive immunity?
Okay, never mind.
Did we talk about that?
No.
You should have gone over it in
Maybe.
A and P.
Is that one where we were talking about how people who aren't vaccinated, it's like a herd immunity kind of thing?
No, that's they just use herd immunity
Oh,
for that.
okay, never
So
mind.
the idea is that if the whole herd's been vaccinated, if the COVID doesn't work, they should be protected. Let's go over this because this is important.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally acquired immunity is when you are exposed to something and you develop an immune response against it. And the key to that is you create the immune response is created in a person. That's why it's natural. Okay? The other type is artificial. Artificial means it's been made where? In a lab somewhere. Okay? So, these things like this are artificial. So you got natural, which is when an immune response develops in a person, and you have artificial when it's put together in a lab. So if I get bit by a snake, I'm going to be given what? Antivenom if they happen to have it here in El Paso, which I don't know if they do, and it's going to cost me about $40,000. They have it here?
Yeah.
Do they really?
It cost their dog a bunch of money.
Do what?
It was like $16,000 for a dog.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Yeah.
And they don't, a lot of the small rural hospitals don't even have it. And that's where they mostly what? Are going to need it. So it's kind of the antitoxin. But is that natural?
No.
Did you make the resistance to that?
No.
No. Did you make the antibodies?
No.
No. Somebody else did. It's usually actually a horse or a cow or something.
Would that be passive or active?
Now, it's the second part. You've got passive and you've got active. Active is
I
when you
remember.
were exposed to something, your immune response reacts against it and you develop memory. That's the key to active. It's in you, stays in you, you develop memory cells, so if you're exposed to it again, it should work. So, we've got natural and, we got active and passive, right?
Yes.
And we've got natural and artificial. All right. So if I get exposed to the flu, well, the
That's
flu's bad because you make me
natural.
worry that it changes. Okay, if I get exposed to chickenpox and I develop immune response, is that natural or passive?
Natural.
Or artificial?
natural active.
Natural active because I've made what?
Memory cells.
I've made memory T cells against it, right? So that's going to be here. The only really, really good example of natural passive is what?
Breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding. That's here.
I remember now. It was
Oh, you read that now?
Yeah, from A&P.
Okay, so they did go over it.
Yeah.
All right. Now what's artificial active?
When you get like the like a vaccine.
A vaccine, like a tetanus vaccine. A vaccine, so it was made in a lab, right? But you're going to produce what? Memory cell. You're going to produce an immune response against, you're going to produce memory cell. So what's artificially passive?
That's the venom.
That's this stuff. These are antitoxins, antiserums, immunoglobulins, anything like that. Do you make memory cells to those?
No.
Do they protect you after they disappear?
No.
Good. How about this one? Breastfeeding. Can mom pass on memory to the child?
Yes, can she?
Let's say a B cell or a T cell got through the milk and got through the digestive tract. Could you theoretically pass that on then?
Yes.
No. Why not? Is that the baby's cells? So as soon as the baby's immune response got strong enough, it would go after and kill another cell.
Oh, that's
so that's always going to
true.
pass it to you. All right. Oh, my favorite.
Uh-oh.
My favorite.
Oh, yeah, you do like that.
Okay. Let's talk after listeria, then if anybody wants to talk about the grade, make them up and look at it. Listeria monocytosis, non-uniform bacillus found everywhere. It's ubiquitous, and this is the problem with it. Found in water, soil, animals, ice cream, cantaloupes. There's an outbreak from cantaloupes from Colorado. Why would that be a problem with listeria? Do you eat the outside of the cantaloupe? I don't know anybody that eats cantaloupe rind. I don't know people that eat watermelon rind, but not cantaloupe.
Or orange.
Uh-huh.
I know people who eat like the orange.
Well,
Yeah,
you do that
yeah.
with the zest
There's actually a lot
to
of
cook.
good stuff in the organ, but yeah, I'm with you on that. I'll take it. But why is cantaloupe an issue?
Maybe
In particular, why would cantaloupe be
I
an
guess
issue?
because you have to handle it to cut it.
You gotta handle
And then you have to
watermelon,
cut through it. So
gotta cut your watermelons.
Mm.
I hate when I do this.
I do.
Why is cantaloupe in particular an issue?
they always put it in fruit salad.
Because what does the outside of a cantaloupe look like?
Oh, it's
It has a
porous.
big rough rind on the outside, so even if you try and wash it off, you're gonna completely get everything off of that.
Oh.
It's very hard to do. You get the knife, you cut right through the cantaloupe, you've taken the listeria, it's right here, and you cut through, and now you spread you just struck the inside of that
I
cantaloupe.
was kind of right.
So that's why cantaloupe, you gotta be a little careful with cantaloupe. You can put like a 10% bleach solution in water a little bit, and it's okay.
Please.
Just like a real mild one, before you cut it. Before you cut it.
It's always okay.
I mean, it's a problem. I don't know, dump alcohol on it or something, let it sit on. Pour vodka on it.
Oh, there you
Clean the water on the farm.
I mean, it's only happened once, but that's why cantaloupe in particular, because of it. Go on. All right. Enters the body via contaminated food or drink. Okay. It's an intracellular pathogen. This is what's so unique about it. There's a couple unique things about listeria. That's why I like it. Like it grows inside of the macrophages that phagocytose it. So we were talking about that before. It gets brought into a phagosome. It prevents the lysosome from detaching. It actually starts replicating inside of the macrophage. Okay? Listeria only helps listeria avoid digestion by the host cell. That's what prevents it from doing it. Does like doing the gallbladder. I'm not worried about that. Virus is directly related to listeria's ability to live within the cells. Okay? Causes meningitis in certain at-risk groups, and if you get this meningitis, it's got about an 80 to 85% mortality rate, even with treatment, a lot of times. Because again, it's another one of those things that by the time you're sick and you go to the doctor, it's already what?
Too late.
It's already too late. All right. Some at-risk groups would be pregnant women can transmit listeria to the fetus, found premature delivery, miscarriage, stillborn, or meningitis to the baby, which would probably kill it as well. All right. The other at-risk groups are going to be who?
Elderly
Elderly above 65,
and infants.
HIV patients who are not
Immunocompromised.
Anybody to be severely immunocompromised. How come 65 and over are severely immunocompromised?
Because of all the like bills that it's always looking.
Why? There's a good limit on this, you can figure this out. Why 65 and older? What usually goes after bacteria? A lot of times it's your innate immune system, right? You can make antibodies to optimize and go after it sometimes. Why are you worried about this particular one?
Well,
Usually it's the viral diseases you're worried about when you get older, right? How come?
Your immune system.
So what part of your immune system? Which part of your
The one it creates your,
Which part of the adaptive immune response gets weakened as you get older? Is it your B cell response?
What do you,
Is it the humoral?
the bees are the memories,
Nope,
aren't
that's
they?
B cell, right? So non-humoral, it's B cells usually okay. Where do T cells
I
mature?
know it's thyroid.
What happens to your thymus as you get older? It atrophies. What happens to your T cell repertoire as you get older? You have a finite number because your thymus gets bad. Why would that matter for listeria? It's not a cancer. It's not a virus infecting. Why would the T cells have anything to do with listeria?
Because they hide in
Probably,
They
like,
hide
probably
in-
phagocytosis
Huh?
systems,
in
probably,
the-
like,
Because of the macrophage.
They're
they
obligated-
use your immune system to hide. So
Sort of, yeah, they get the macrophages, but they're intracellular parasites. So the T cells are going to lock on and kill the cells they're hiding in, and then they're not going to be able to hide anymore. That's why the T cell response is so important with listeria. It's also why they will never get a vaccine for listeria, because they've been trying to use it for a cancer vaccine. Because they want to take the genes for cancer, put it in listeria, and then when listeria infects the cells, your MHC molecule should display the cancer markers on the surface of your immune system go after it. It has not worked very well, but that's probably why they'll never come up with a vaccine for listeria itself. Which I think is just crazy, because how many outbreaks have we had in the last 4 years?
several,
At least 5 that I know of. There was
Yeah.
just another one the other day.
and it's
All right, guys, we'll finish this up. We'll move the gram negatives, and then we'll deal with the viruses, and then we'll, look at the poor old lady they put in there. There, we're gonna kill Granny.
Oh.